Steve Lease. I own 2 photo and video production companies. They call me Camera Thief. And this is my 1990 R32 Nissan Skyline GTR. And it's been a project.
My name's Corey. To Steve, I am known as Neighbor Corey Guy. I've got a long experience in automotive work. You know, multiple different vehicles, cars, trucks, stuff in the military when I was in, and never in my life expected to be able to get my hands on working on something as legendary as, you know, an R32 Skyline.
Good luck, man.
And especially a GTR.
What made me want to do the build? Man, I wanted a Skyline GTR since I was a kid. And I grew up playing Need for Speed Underground. I watched the Fast and the Furious movie. And that was really kind of my first exposure. I think the Need for Speed games were my first exposure to the Skyline GTR platform. And I wanted to have that car someday. And so when I got it, we all knew that the car was not going to be left alone. I wanted to make it respectably quick, and I wanted to make it what I laid down and fell asleep dreaming about as a kid. It was cool to get to experience the car essentially stock. There wasn't a lot of vacuum leaks or boost leaks or really too much wrong with the car given the condition that a lot of these things come over to us in from Japan. But we had to sort some things out just to kind of keep the car alive and pretty much stock over the last summer. And then it was just time to make it faster.
Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone.
The things we had to figure out and learn ourselves was crazy.
Nobody knows what your rebels are.
But it was definitely a fun experience, and it's
13 and 14 or 14
still teaching us things to this day of, you know, how to do things to it, what needs to get done, how picky she can be. We're still in that learning phase of all of it.
You don't want to do it? I mean, I'll do it. Swear to God, just the one that breaks. This is also like some of the most uncomfortable for things like that. Yeah. This is my least favorite part so far. Well, so I think it was hitting here. So we're gonna Dremel some of that out.
You know, when Corey and I were thinking about doing this recap video, we were kind of coming up with different location ideas, and we figured that the garage would be appropriate. This is where a lot of the work has been done, and a lot of the work was done in my dad's shop. And it's not a professional shop, it's just a shop where he works on his cars, and he was gracious enough to let Corey and I come in and use a lot of his tools, use his lift, and some company from his shop cat over the winter. But this is literally a homegrown garage-built vehicle, and I think that's really cool. A lot of people can go out there and take mom and dad's money and pay somebody else to do that labor for them and to build something for them. And we literally built this in a garage, which is why we're sitting here looking at it in this environment. She's homegrown.
No, I mean, dude, it's such that's a hard question. I mean, there were so many moments where it was like, oh, this is it, you know, type thing. I mean, between the catch can or stuff with the wiring, the main harness on the car, anytime you'd hit a bump, it would shut the car off. So that was fun.
Here we are again. Let me reconnect here. So as long as this thing stays wedged in that corner, we're fine. Tell the next bump.
I'd say the most interesting thing I've found out about the car when taking it apart is my hands really came in handy for this, as Steve likes to call them, you know, bony little witch fingers. They definitely came in handy in areas trying to get the stock turbos off with it being such a tight location.
It took me 3 days to try to get my hands in there and get the factory turbos off. A lot of people talk about the ceramic wheels breaking. My wheels were fine, compressor and exhaust wheels on the twins, but the exhaust housings were cracked. So it was definitely time to dump those things, and it was just such a fight. And Corey shows up with his bony little witch fingers, and he just gets in there and takes it apart and whatever, you know. So that's tattooed in my brain. The intake manifold was on and off 6 or 7 times. The valve covers were off 9 times alone this year. And all of those things were significantly burned into my brain. But I think the coolest part about what this car offered for memory isn't even the car itself. To share the we never quit mentality and to have relationships and bonds with Corey and some other people that are involved in the vehicle grow and intensify and really create a tight-knit, very small family-oriented kind of community is something that this car created. And that's one of the things that makes it so unique and so valuable to me.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, there's air.
I do the same thing when I get too much air. I don't know how many times Corey and I exchanged the idea that this car can be a monster, but it will fight you every step of the way, almost in a way that feels like it wants to make sure you deserve what it can do. You drive down the road and a lot of people give you a thumbs up, come up at a gas station, take pictures of it or ask to, but the coolest thing in the world, man, is the kids. Because I was that kid. They see this thing that's the race car. And this one in particular is the race car that you sit on the right-hand side of, and you got these big harnesses and the wheel moves up and, you know, it tilts up and down, and kids love it. Go for a nice little cruise and then get her back and hopefully make the last day of class for her pretty special and a cool, fun way to kick off her summer. And I think what's really cool about the kids is the sense of innocence there, because they genuinely just like the car. They don't ask you how much it costs to build, how much you paid for it, and I get questions like that a lot. And I don't respond to them typically because it's not what it's about. This is not a status symbol, and kids don't see the status, they see the excitement and just that raw, charismatic enthusiasm and wonder over it. And that's how I feel in my heart when I drive the car. That joy and that excitement that it brings me, it's really cool to see that raw joy and enthusiasm from kids.
It's like a crazy therapist. You know, you enjoy working on it. It's a getaway from a stressful day at work or whatever's going on in your life to you've been working on it so long that you just don't want to look at it anymore and you just want to lock it away and not come back for a couple days. I'm tired of it. I'm done. I'm done. To try to sum up this thing, honestly, it's...
Dude, I don't know, man. The one word I would use to describe this car and the experience that I've had with it is...
I don't even know if I could put it in one word.
One word is definitely visceral.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, it is an indescribable car. You know, a feeling. I mean,
you become a part of it and the car becomes a part of you.
Because there's just so many things in it emotionally that you can't put one word into it. I mean, it's just not possible.
And fortunately, Corey and I were able to withstand and endure a lot. And we got to unlock the monster that this car can be, even though it fought us every single step of the way. I mean, I don't know how many times Corey said, she's a fighter, man. And she is. This thing wanted to test our abilities to really prove ourselves to the car, and that's where that visceral connection comes from. That it? Cool.
It's just you, me, and the odds. We stuck together, we two peas in a pod. You dealt a bad hand, I'm there seizing the cards. We'll never be separated till we seeing the gods. We've been low together, high forever. Long as we go together, we'll die whenever. Be a light, couldn't let the darkness try you ever. Let me be your shield, let me be your shield. Let me be your shield, let me be your shield.
I really hope that video means something to somebody.
Oh,
like
yeah.
somebody with their own car build, you know? And it's got to be a really common theme. Like you had said, like there's just such a connection with this car because of blood, sweat, and tears. I don't think you can do a project like this without getting that way, and that's who I hope we kind of talk to with it. There's been various times, like this car didn't really sink in on me until I got it in the garage here for the first time. It was just kind of like, all right, cool, we're on a road trip with a fun car, and then I remember the first time it was in the garage, I went in the house and opened the door, and it was just like, it's here. And then the first time it started with Mackenzie, it was like, it's working. Seeing this project come together, like with your help, with Crystal's support, with Mackenzie, with Colin, like this is another one of those moments right now. Like as I wind down the cutting of this video, it's just like, holy crap, dude. All right, that should be fine.